Why is 2024 already going crazy? Grab your stick, grab your drink, and let's get into this thing right now. Uh, yeah. It's your boy JD, live and direct to you. You know what it is. Come on and join in. Ha 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 ha. What up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct, and you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. And of course, you're on YouTube, man. Do me a favor. Hit that like button, mash that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, man. So you get alerted every time we drop one of these bangers. And bruh, y'all got to learn something right now. When me and TLC talk on Saturday morning, it can get dangerous. Because once we talk on Saturday mornings, he come up, his creativity come on Saturday morning. We just go back and forth. But on Saturday morning, he said something to me. He said, JB, 2024 is already crazy. I said, man, that's the topic right there. Why is 2024 already crazy? Y'all already know the what. But Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast gives you the why. And man, y'all know whenever I get into a topic like this, y'all know who I got to bring with me. The resident antagonist is in the building. The people's champ is in the building. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tell y'all what he's sipping on, what he's drinking on, what he's smoking on, and where y'all can find him on the socials.
What's going on, JB and Rhonda? It's your boy TL Clayton. You can find me on Instagram, and I'm at TL Clayton #1. Tonight I'm still sticking with my red wine. This is a Grand Terrej red wine blend. It's from Spain, so
Okay.
I don't know how the wine is from Spain, but smoking on tonight. This is a Alec Bradley Temperance.
Nice.
So something different.
Plural.
I don't think I've ever had an Alec Bradley before. So
no, you gonna like this good stick? Good stick with a Maduro with red wine. Okay, you gonna be tight by the time this over. Okay, step game up. Y'all seeing? Hold on, I ain't forget about my soundboard working. And guys, y'all know, appreciate my boy TLC being on this. That might end up on the cigar review playlist. Y'all stay on the lookout. We did an Alec Bradley, but we did a black market. Y'all can get down there in the playlist and see that. So TLC, you did pick out a premium stick. Real Cigar Jeff approves. I know that don't mean nothing to you, but
it really
at all.
Real Cigar Jeff approves. Y'all know who I got next, man. My A1 from day one. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Tell y'all what she's sipping on, if she's sipping on anything this week, and where y'all can find her on the social.
Thanks, JB, for having me back. What's up, TLC? It's your girl, Rhonda. You can find me on Instagram at RMBLNBT. Tonight, I am sipping on my Mamitas tequila and soda pineapple.
Oh.
So, my little alcohol in a can. Yeah, with my hospital straw. All right, looking forward to this topic tonight. That's why I'm rocking the crazy, sexy, cool. We're going to see what's going to pop off.
I didn't notice.
TLC t-shirt. Y'all, somebody better get around the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I appreciate the love.
Yeah, no, that ain't for you. She ain't got on your shirt from the merch store. Yeah. Hey, that I appreciate you being on. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know always. Glad to have my A1 from Draymond in the building, man. A lot of y'all take understand.
It's a lot.
Man, I'm gonna keep it quick. Y'all can see what I'm smoking on today. Shout out to my boy Tony at Cigars International, man. I'm smoking on this E.H. Taylor Corojo. I'm sipping on this E.H. Taylor Corojo tonight. If y'all some bourbon drinkers out there, y'all know that E.H. Taylor is top of the line. They probably got it locked up in your liquor store, but they just came out with a cigar similar, you've seen Buffalo Trace cigars and all that stuff like that. But this is E.H. Taylor, man, and this thing is hitting. This thing hit me with full flavor. I'm probably gonna have to do a review on it here pretty soon. E.H. Taylor. Y'all know I'm sipping on my Four Roses TLC. Notice I ain't sipping on E.H. Taylor.
Right.
Y'all ain't watching enough of that yet. So we went back to the Four Roses. We went back to the Four Roses, but that's what I'm sipping on for the night, man. We're gonna jump right into this thing. Thank y'all for being on the panel again. Why is 2024 so crazy? TLC, when you got the topic, tell me what you were thinking. And we gonna start, guys. First thing we start with, I'm gonna go here. We're gonna jump into this thing. One of the craziest things we've seen so far is this Katt Williams interview. We got to jump into this thing first. Now, TLC, why? Why do you think 2024 is crazy? And put it in perspective to this Katt Williams interview. That's what we're going to start with. We got a couple more topics that we can get into it. But go ahead, TLC. Let's start the conversation.
Not related to Katt Williams necessarily, but I was thinking about fishing because fishing is a part of my life. And I saw this TV show. It was Grumpy Old Men, the movie. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one. But in one of them, this old man was fishing with dynamite. And I thought to myself, if you're going to go fishing with dynamite, either A, you don't have any skills whatsoever to go fishing, or you just enjoy blowing stuff up. And I'm like, when I start thinking about 2024, I think there's a lot of people out there that just like to blow some stuff up. And when I saw that Katt Williams interview, it definitely came to my mind like, okay, it seems like he's been holding on to a lot of this for a lot of the interview. Some of the things I'd heard of before, the issues with him and Steve Harvey and all that. But I was like, you know what? It's been stewing. Everything that he mentioned in that interview had been stewing for a while. And I'm like, you know what? He's fishing with dynamite right now. He's out there to blow it up.
Yeah, I like that. I like that analogy. Rhonda, what do you think when you got time?
Yeah, 2024 has been very interesting to say the least. But him by far, as they say, broke the internet. He broke the internet this weekend. And full disclosure, I have not watched all of it. I only seen snippets of it. I do plan on watching it, but just not prepared for this podcast tonight from that standpoint. But I'm a big believer in getting stuff out. So for him to be holding all of that in, that brother had to be about to explode with all that he was. So dynamite is definitely the perfect word for it. But what I'm more impressed about though is nobody has come out and said that he's outright lied. Like they're gonna explain their situation, but they ain't gonna say he outright lied. So for me, I think it's some of his quotes that he said that I'm probably gonna speak on tonight. Some of the quotes that he has said with his wisdom, because personally I like him as a comedian. So I think he's one of the greats. And so
Smartest
for him
thing
to
you can
come,
say all night. So we don't want him to get a hold of this video and then come at us.
do what now?
We all like Katt Williams. That's the smartest thing you said all night. We like you too, Katt. Let's please get a hold of this video.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, but it's always something when allegations come out or people make statements about something. I always look for the person that they're talking about to come out and say, "Oh no, he lying. I didn't do that." Because normally, when somebody accuses you of something, if you didn't do it, black folks, oh no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. The other way around, we'll start stuttering, hemming and hawing, trying to. But no, nobody has said outright. It's like he put it out there, and they have to fit the narrative for what he said. So that's what I thought. But he by far is the number one reason why I think 2024 has been crazy this year so far, but in a very good way. Back to you, JB.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Ron. I appreciate that perspective you gave. Now I can tell you guys like this. Speaking on what TLC said, speaking on what Rhonda said, fishing with dynamite, and when Rhonda said he has said something that nobody's come out and said, okay, that ain't true, or you get the well, I ain't gonna respond to my haters. I ain't gonna take the low road. When you start getting those types of conversations back, you all of a sudden somebody hit a nerve. But I think the core to this is y'all last week we did the podcast and it said new year don't mean new you.
Mm-hmm.
That was our podcast. New
Mm-hmm.
year don't mean new you. And one of the things we talked about was for you to focus on you. Katt Williams then made a lot of y'all just focus on you because how he came at them. I don't see how they recover unless they go back and focus on them. You cannot come back. And again, guys, this is why we do the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Ain't nobody saying that man drunk. They were drinking some good stuff. And every time he made a point, that bourbon or cognac or whatever they were drinking was on his lips. And a drunk man tells no tales, but I ain't saying he was drunk. But if he that truthful when he drinking, I want to be around every time and drinking. And so why is 2024 crazy? A lot of y'all don't realize since 2020 pandemic, and the reason why we said 2024 is the year of you. That's why I said it on the podcast last week. Since pandemic 2020, people are over it when it comes to protecting your feelings. They over it.
Absolutely.
2020, you got 2021, you got 2022. Now you got $4 gas, you got $100 groceries. You got a lot of people who tired of watching you eat, and it came at the expense of them not eating. And I'm telling y'all right now, why is 2024 crazy? People have said that 2024 they only caring about them. Y'all thought it was just us laughing and joking and kikiing and sniggling and giggling about it on the podcast. But what Katt Williams did, he let all them go set themselves up, and they've been using that same mentality, and they just used to nobody saying nothing. And this man that came out, they can't come back and say, well, no, he lying, because he waited to go last. The same thing, but he said about Bernie Mac going last. It wasn't supposed to be called the Kings of Comedy Show. It was supposed to be the Steve Harvey Tour. And then Bernie became the king.
Yeah,
And I just
Bernie
thought
was that man.
was crazy. So why is 2024 crazy? You look at some of the stuff Katt Williams said, bruh, he is done allowing you to go with a narrative that may not necessarily be accurate. I can't even watch the Steve Harvey show right now. That I used to love that. Once he told me it was stolen by Mark, he stole it from Mark
Yeah.
Cooper. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I said, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
we didn't know we used to watch that show.
We used to watch Mr. Cooper. I said, "Oh my god!" Right? TLC, jump in there. Let me know what you're thinking after you hear me say that.
Well, it was one more point I was going to make about fishing with dynamite. And that was, if you are going to fish with dynamite, you got to kind of put some thought into it. You got to think ahead. You can't light the stick of dynamite and then try to figure out what you're going to do. And I know in 2023, at the end of 2023, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop labeling people. I'm going to stop putting terms on people.
Mm-hmm.
But in the interview, they did talk about Katt Williams and his IQ level. And I said, man, this dude really is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a response that Michael Blackston said the day after Katt Williams' interview came on that made me think about that. And he said, Katt Williams is a genius because he named every major comedian you could think of, whether it was in a positive manner or a negative manner. He pretty much named every comedian big time that you could think of. And he said, you know what? They don't have a choice but to say something, to respond back and say something. And during the interview, Katt Williams was like, you know what? I don't do any promotions. I don't do any radio. I don't do anything. I just go to different cities and sell out stadiums and stuff. And I said, you know what? What's going to happen the next day when this thing drops? Every comedian in the world is going to have to come on social media. And what are they going to be talking about? Katt Williams. I'm like, he doesn't even have to promote his tour. He's got other comedians now talking him up. Like, he's just sitting back chilling now. Even though he had to do that interview, Katt Williams is chilling now. And everybody out there wants to go to Katt Williams' tour and see him live now. He has figured out a way to have other comedians promote him.
People studying Katt Williams People studying Katt Williams, and now don't go on Shannon Sharpe show if you lying. Right? Like that's the number one thing you better learn. Because
Well,
if you lying, somebody gonna come up there. Go ahead,
everybody's got their side of the story. So I'm like, Katt had his. A lot of these other comedians got their side of the story.
They already had a chance to go though.
They did have. Well, I heard Ricky Smiley's response to say like, no, he was actually given the part or whatever in Friday or whatever, Friday after next or whatever it was. I mean, I've heard other comedians tell their side of the story.
Ricky Smiley didn't address the Miss Bernice thing. Ricky Smiley didn't address the fact that they nobody, you can't do a comedy tour now because you ain't had nothing relevant since the old church lady. How you gonna get a relevant? How you gonna sell out somebody with new people today? Now we love it because if I'm listening to the Ricky Smiley morning show and he does it, we grew up on that. That's what I'm saying to you, TLC. There ain't no other side but Katt. These other guys, Trick Daddy tried to come out. The moment Trick Daddy tried to reply, everybody was like, man, shut up. Everybody's like, right? And then, like, I want you guys to see this, that there's always somebody in your life. We talking about the why, then I want you to jump in there, Ron. There's somebody in your life, always somebody in your life, who ready to check you if they think you done got too big. Remember last podcast, we were talking about why New Year's resolutions don't work. And what did I tell y'all? Because you don't make resolutions for all the lives you live in. And I'm telling you right now, there's everybody who listening to this, there's one person ready to check you, ready to tell your story. And in 2024 is going to happen, guys. They didn't let you get away with it for far too long. They didn't let you get away with it for far too long. And it's going to be exposed this year if you get out of pocket. And when he just used, here's what happened. Katt just used everything those guys came on Club Shay Shay and said. And he just butchered everything they said. Who knew that Steve Harvey called the people from Oceans to say, don't put Bernie Mac in there. Put me in there. And now Bernie Mac's daughter comes out and it's like, yeah, story true. And it's like, wow.
Like, where's the lie? Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. I get it because at the end of the day, guys, in order for you to win, somebody got to lose. In order for you to get rich, somebody else got to become poor. Now, I think what happens is sometimes you get used to people holding their tongue. And y'all got to understand the reason why Katt Williams is going viral. Minorities value staying authentic rather than getting the bag. Minorities will value staying authentic more than they value getting the bag. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you Let me know what you think.
To be honest, now don't get me wrong. Now, the black people, our culture, we love the realness, right? Like we love when somebody keep it 100. What they say.
We love the public realness because a lot of people can't keep it real publicly.
Well,
we can keep it real silently,
like with your boys. I could agree with that to a certain extent because at the end of the day, this man had something to share, and when you can say that certain people were gatekeepers of certain things, and certain people, I mean, it just had access to stuff that you just like, how they end up with that? And not this person, or how they get that, and you see the same ones, right? For me, the Fast and the Furious ones, like with Ludacris, I'm like, oh my God, he said how many more he got to do, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's like, what else can you say other than Katt Williams? Oh my God, it's like this is just what it is. But when it comes to keeping it real in today's society, your realness is based on your social media page. That's going to be the realest somebody going to be, which means they fake all the way around, right? Like, because we're only going to put the stuff out there that's either going to go viral or make them look like they got money or something that's going to be like a facade. One of the many faces, as you stated last week, one of the many personalities, faces, people they have to do in front of whoever. But this year, people are tired. We ain't talking about COVID no more. They really outside. And so the realer you are, yeah, the more clicks and the more likes you probably gonna get because other people aren't gonna have the courage to do what Cat Williams has
Hold on, Ron.
done.
Hold on, Ron. Hold on. Before I jump into TLC, you just said something, right? So now what you talking about is if people see you flossing on social media, y'all better be careful in 2024 because now people ain't happy that you outside no more since COVID over. When we were locked in the COVID, everybody like, man, you doing it, man. Blah 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 blah. So Rhonda just said, now y'all be careful what y'all flossing on social media because there's somebody who know the truth about you who gonna tell us how you got there.
Yeah,
And,
like sit your down.
right? And so I think it's interesting that social media has taken over. And again, one of the things I tell people all the time is the reason why we do this podcast is real people having real conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we say we're real people? Because we are flawed people. We don't ever come across as perfect. This is really just us having a conversation with y'all that we putting on tape. Okay. And again, we don't judge or anything like that. If Steve Harvey made a choice to get that bag, I don't blame him. But I also don't blame Katt Williams for doing what he did because now his tour sold out. So both of them getting the bag. One just did it a different way. One just did it a different way. Now, would Katt Williams secretly want to be able to say, I got these shows, I got these, companies, I got this radio show, I got all that. Will he secretly want to have all that? Yeah, but he don't want to have it at a certain expense.
At a price.
Understand, right? You probably want it, but I ain't willing to do what you did to get it. And why do I say 2024 is already crazy too? Because we gonna tie this Katt Williams thing into this Jeffrey Epstein lease, this Jeffrey Epstein list. Sorry, because that's the equivalent of what happened. And guess what? I think Katt Williams has just made a lot of people happy because he done overshadowed the Jeffrey Epstein list. All this stuff that's dropping with Jeffrey Epstein, and you can't even talk about it because of Katt Williams. Now, TLC, I saw you had your hand up. Go ahead and jump in there real fast.
Well, Rhonda mentioned Ludacris and the Fast and Fury. And I was like, you know what? When you think of like rap music and rappers, everybody wants somebody that's authentic. I don't want the rapper that's been, unless he's out there in the streets, he's been shot 20 times and this and that. Until all of a sudden the FBI started having those RICO cases on these rappers for what they were saying on their rhymes. Now all of a sudden, all these rappers are coming out saying, nah, I didn't have all them bodies after all. So I think for someone like Katt Williams to come on, a podcast and to be so honest, I think people were taken back. Like, oh my God, a person's this real? Like, in today's day and age? Like,
but TLC, I got to stop you. Was Katt Williams, was it because Katt Williams is honest? Or was it because the media, I should say the media, the consumer base never really bought into the people he talked about, and it was confirmation of what they believe. This thing, TLC, this thing got over 30 million views now. So what happened? Was it that Katt Williams was being honest? Or was that, Steve Harvey, I never really bought into that. You know what, Kevin Hart, something ain't adding up. You know what, Ludacris, why you? Right? And now
I think
you
it was
got
both. I think it was both.
Right? You may be on something, but I've been thinking about that thing all day. Katt Williams, when I saw the video, the first thing I wanted was that hat he kept playing with. Because until he hadn't done a show with a hat on, with the hat he had on, it couldn't quite get right.
Yeah.
He kept having him. If you ain't done a show with a hat on, that hat never want to act right. And I wanted that hat. When I saw it, I said, that's what I need to do the next time I go skiing, is I need to have a hat like that just won't act right.
Next podcast is going to be Hat Day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, see, TLC, I'm glad you brought up, because I'm still on this cat thing, but I want to jump on something real fast. Because 2024 and already gone crazy. TLC, I'm just bringing this in there since you said RICO. Mm-hmm. We got 2 RICO charges in Atlanta right now. Who? You got YSL. You got Young Thug. You got Young Thug on the RICO charge. And then you got your boy Trump on the RICO charge.
Oh, my Lord.
Y'all probably didn't see this last night. But did you see, TLC, this is probably going to be a future podcast as it gets a couple more legs. RICO charges against Young Thug, and RICO charges against Trump and his 18 co-defendants, right? Or probably 14
Mhm.
now since some of them have pled. Now, have y'all seen the news? If you haven't, it's going to be a further down the road podcast. One of Trump's co-defendants just filed a motion to have his case dismissed. Why? He has come across information that Fani Willis, who's the DA and the lead prosecutor, who has zero experience, the lead prosecutor prosecuting the former president of the United States, has been paid almost $1 million by Fani Willis. And she is in a relationship with him, and she's been paying him and giving him these positions so that once she pays him, this is what she's been accused of now. This is allegedly. They've been flying all over the place, going on vacation, Napa Valley, Caribbean, all these places. The receipts are coming out, whereas Fani Willis had to admit that she does have a relationship with this guy. This guy has no experience to be prosecuting a RICO case against the president of the United States. So they were wondering, how did he get the role? And if you remember back in 2023, when Trump first got charged, he said, look, man, something ain't right about this lady. There's rumors that she's been involved sexually with some of her clients when she was a defense attorney, and that she's involved with people that are going to be prosecuting me, and you can't do that. And it came out. 2024 going crazy. 2024 going crazy. Now, why am I saying that? It ties into the Katt Williams thing, where nobody can hide what you have going on. You can't be guilty of something that you are accusing somebody else. None of us can be money laundering, racketeering, and all that kind of stuff. So the reason I brought that up, TLC, is because you brought up the whole RICO thing. Well, now that just dropped, and now Young Thug, even though it didn't have nothing to do with his case, right? If she's compromised with Trump, she's also compromised with his case. Because everybody wondering, why is she going after the guys talking about their rap lyrics? Right? So now the guys was like, nah, bro, we done seen you out in the club. We done seen you out partying. Why are you coming after us? Well, evidently, allegedly, there's stuff going on with rappers and all that kind of stuff. So TLC, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is another story that's going to be big. Can you imagine if Trump's co-defendants and Trump get off because Fani Willis? Go ahead, TLC.
Well, we're talking about why is 2024 going crazy. And I think really it's because everybody has a point where it's just like, okay, enough is enough. I think you saw it with Katt Williams, and I think people in general, because I was thinking about today, like, who was the last day that got satisfied or got taken care of? Like, we still on the war with Ukraine. That didn't get resolved. We still got people coming across the border. That ain't resolved. Trump and Biden are still at it, having an election. Like, we didn't solve that either in 2020. Like, there's no issues across the RICO cases are still going on from 10 years ago. You got people that are locked up. They ain't even been to court yet for that case. It's like nothing is getting resolved. It just keeps building up and building up and building up. It's like a pressure cooker. At a certain point, I think you're going to get like Katt Williams and be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm going to tell my side of the story. Here it is. Y'all do with it what you want. So,
Rhonda, what you think, Rhonda?
Well, I mean, I think we are at a place where it's the court of public opinion is going to weigh heavily on a lot of things, right? When you put stuff out there like that. And I guess 2024 is the year of exposure. And if again, people where receipts can be bought, they better hope that it's in their favor and not the other way around. Because when they pulled up, was it something from Cedric the Entertainer?
Oh, the
they
joke,
pulled up something.
The spaceship joke.
From a while ago. Like people will go back and find some stuff, right, and put you out there on blast. So it's like they say, man, get your house in order. Do it today.
Yeah.
Ain't that what the gospel song say? Get your house in order. So, yeah.
Right away. Now, I ain't gonna keep singing it because I ain't trying to take y'all to church. But the reason I'm gonna tell y'all like this. We talking about why is 2024 going crazy. Katt Williams TLC talked about fishing with dynamite, right? But I'm gonna give it a different approach. Normally, when you throw a grenade, you run. Katt Williams threw that grenade and just sat there. It blew up. He threw a grenade, and he sat there and said, "What you gonna say? You can't say nothing. You can't. I'm giving you the God honest truth." And then we got to start recognizing the people he didn't attack were the guys who on YouTube coming up that way. Country Wayne, DC Young Fly, right? Desi Banks. He was like, yeah, them cats getting it. And what happened the next day? Go ahead, Ron.
But Mike Epps was the funniest. He wanted his name. He wanted his name. Yeah.
Right? If your name wasn't in it, are you even relevant? Right? That's
right.
Part. That's the saddest part. So I think what everybody got to look at is Katt Williams has a different belief system. I applaud him for believing in the guys who doing it at the roots. And when he said y'all didn't come out the mud, man, when he hit Steve Harvey with, how you gonna give your wife credit for everything you got? You said it about your first wife. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like he, whatever he and Steve Harvey got. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Look, did we learn that Steve Harvey had on a man unit or the hair was fake? But when we didn't know it was fake, everybody went in the barbershop saying, I got to get a crispy edge up. Yeah. When we didn't know, Barber's been trying to get that edge up for how long? And now we realize it was fake. So why is 2024 the year of exposure? I think people are tired of having to be fake, and they're tired of watching you be fake. And this is why we say it's real people having real conversation, because one of the things you're going to find is you got to stand on what you believe, because at the end of the day, in this space, in this YouTube space, you're going to be exposed so quickly if you're lying. And one of the things we tell people is just don't get into that point where you're lying, because everybody's looking to expose you now. In 2024, guys, 2024, people being pressed too hard to worry about protecting you too. Mm-hmm. They want to see some gas prices go down. They want to see food prices go down. They want to see mortgage rates go down. You got a lot of stuff. People are like, okay, like TLC said, you tired of seeing people come across that border. Like, hey, look, man, like all that's doing is creating more and more expenses for everybody else. Somebody gonna have to pay for it, and it's gonna look like us. Go ahead, TLC, jump in there.
The one thing that, because you mentioned the Epstein thing, so I am a little worried about that, just because they keep saying they're gonna keep releasing these names.
Yeah.
And one week they're gonna release them, then the next week they're gonna release them. I haven't seen no names yet. It's got to be some big time people out there.
They release some names. They release some names. Bill Clinton has been up there. Trump has been in there.
But we already knew.
Leonardo
Yeah, we come up with new names.
We already knew Epstein hung around those people.
Cameron Diaz, Leo DiCaprio, David Copperfield. There's been some names released, right? Hillary Clinton's name was in there. We didn't expect her name to be in there too. Let me find out she's the agent of Bill Clinton.
I know he was donating to a lot of politicians, so I was kind of expecting
Hillary Clinton was in there. You got Alan Dershowitz, who defended O.J. Simpson. You got a lot of names that's been dropping, but Katt Williams saving them. We can't talk about nothing but Katt Williams, because guess what? We don't care about what happened. We don't care about what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. People don't care about what happened with Jeffrey Epstein like they do with what Katt Williams said. Why? Everybody Katt Williams talked about is alive except Bernie Mac, but nobody questioned Bernie Mac's realness. Nobody questioned Bernie Mac's.
Plus, his show was so good.
His show was good. His comedy was good, and he just connect everybody. Bernie Mac was real people having real conversations before we came up with real people having real conversations. That's what made Bernie Mac so funny, was because he was doing this stuff before it was cool to say keep it real. Katt Williams was so effective, guys, that ain't nobody talking about Diddy and TD Jakes no more. Right?
But he did say, just say no to Diddy. He did say that.
He did say that. But nobody was talking about the part where he said about Diddy, or where Harvey Weinstein offered to, perform whatever, right? All this stuff he bought up, guys, is crazy. And I'm going to tell you one thing that a lot of people are missing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but one of the offshoots of this is Steven Jackson, who does All the Smoke podcast that airs on Showtime, came out against Shannon Sharpe and said there ain't no way in the world I'm letting Katt Williams go on and on against people who've been on my show like that, and especially if I call those guys my friend. And Shannon Sharpe responded.
Yeah,
He said,
man.
"You mad 'cause this thing got 30 million. You mad 'cause I'm better at doing a show than you do." So
Hey,
look, now let me tell you this. I done watched all the smoke. Shout out Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, all these people in this YouTube space. But Shannon Sharpe got to let the man go on. You can't. If TLC decided, if Rhonda decided to voice their opinions, and they
Behind the
decided,
scenes.
if they just
Behind the
decided
scenes, or to smoke something, drink something.
on and on about something, they went. I can't stop them. I can't say whoa, 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 whoa. You may not
Yes,
want
you
to say
can.
that. You may not want to say that. Go ahead, TLC.
you know what's so funny is that whenever we do these podcasts, somebody will either text me or comment me, say, I can't believe you said such and such and such, or you felt such. I'm like, wait a minute, that was JB's opinion. That wasn't mine. People will see something and they just run with it. Whatever's in their head is what they run with. So when they see Katt Williams talking, there's gonna be a certain amount of people that just gonna say, "Oh, it was Shannon Sharpe."
Shannon Sharpe,
Opinion.
that's it.
No, it wasn't Shannon Sharpe's opinion at all. Katt Williams had his opinion, and Shannon Sharpe had his opinion. And Shannon Sharpe pretty much was just the narrator, was the moderator. He didn't have anything to do with it. But when,
Yeah.
when people see it on that platform, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's Shannon Sharpe's fault."
Yes.
Just like they blame everything you say on me.
The part I did see where he was trying to get him to stop was when he brought up Kanye and Kim Kardashian. He said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold on."
But he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop him. He couldn't stop him. He tried, but you cannot stop him. And guess who didn't come out and Kanye ain't said a word. Kim Kardashian ain't said a word. And the number one thing he said, why are we expecting anything else from Kanye? He said, why are we expecting anything? When you put it in perspective, he said, isn't there some classes you took that you got graded on the curve? So yeah, we need to be grading Kanye on the curve. And it's just, and you see it, and it's just like, I'm glad you brought that part up, because this Steven Jackson part, I think for you to attack Shannon Sharpe, this is the problem with our mainstream media. This is why podcasts have taken off. People want unfiltered conversations. They don't want this media narrative where they've been bought off by somebody with a bunch of money to tell you how to think. If you watch that video, how can you blame Shannon Sharpe for letting this man go on and on when it is so relevant? And you just saw where Steve Harvey had a chance to be on the show, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley. If this man sat back and watched all of them and had the rebuttal, what you gonna do? And so when Steven Jackson came out like that, and everybody, look, that's why I'm doing this podcast right now. Anybody who's in the podcast business, you want to get on what's trending. Go ahead, TLC.
I do also want to say they look like they were doing it live, like just like we film live. So I might have talking points or things that I want to get out. Rhonda's got hers, you got yours. But you know what? You go the direction of the conversation. So Shannon Sharpe might have had another question he wanted to ask. But once you start having him talking, he starts dropping that stuff. You're like, you know what? I'm going to see where this is going to go. Like, so I think Shannon Sharpe may have had other questions, but he just didn't have time to ask, to get it all in.
And that's what a lot of people don't get, guys. That's what a lot of people don't get. One of the things that and Ron, I'm gonna let you jump in there. We got to start recognizing when he brought that up about Kim and Kanye. When he brought it up about Kim and Kanye, wasn't a whole lot to talk about at that point, because he said something that just shut it down. Okay, if I'm lying, why didn't Pete Davidson stay with him? You can't keep Pete Davidson. When he said that, I'm like, oh my God.
Or right? The product must have been.
Or the product,
trash.
Right? That's one of the. And I'm gonna tell you like this: what I see the other day, Kim Kardashian releasing a video of her working out. I said, oh my God. I said, oh my. He didn't reply. She just released a video of her doing weight training, and her back was ripped, right? Just like you could tell she's just been working out, that kind of thing. And let me tell you guys, once you sell out, and here's the thing, I don't tell anybody not to sell out, because everybody gonna have a conversation where they got to sell out to something or to someone. The best thing she did was, and when you get taught to sell out, guys, the first thing you're gonna get told is, don't worry about it, it'll blow over. See, when you keep it real, you got to keep it real 100% all the time. But the people who've sold out and have gotten a certain lifestyle, just wait, man, it'll blow over. And I think that's why Steve Harvey's response was, I ain't going to respond to my haters. And you saw Ricky Smiley come out. Like when Ludacris dropped the rap diss, everybody was like, bruh, why are you dropping a rap diss? He talked about things that didn't have nothing to do with your rapping career. Ain't nobody questioning your rapping career. And that dude said one of us shaved our sideburns and one of us didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I think that's the key that when and that's why I want to go back to this Steven Jackson and Shannon Sharpe, because that's one thing people are missing. Why are you attacking a guy whose show is the platform? Right? Why didn't look you? And here's the funny thing: Steven Jackson, his whole thing is about, Matt Barnes does most of the talking. Steven Jackson's more the color commentary type thing. But one of the things people were talking about with Steven Jackson is Shannon Sharpe has shown he can go beyond athletes being on his podcast. And this is what makes Shannon Sharpe. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. Like if you ain't seen the show, he can go beyond talking. He can go beyond talking to athletes. All the smoke typically is just a recollection of how they perceive things in the professional sports world. This Katt Williams thing, this is pop culture, man. And again, would we have loved to have somebody like Katt Williams on this show? Absolutely. But my YouTube channel would probably crash if that many people YouTube probably ban
and we get 10%.
Right?
It's coming.
But think about this. Think about this for a second, if I can cut in. If you think about this time last year, Shannon Sharpe was probably like struggling. Should he stay with Skip Bayless? Should he leave? And then look at where he is a year later.
Yeah. One
decision.
Not only that, he's so good at what he does. Stephen A. Smith trying to do the same thing he's doing. Stephen A. Smith.
Going back to Fishing with Dynamite, for Shannon Sharpe, Fishing with Dynamite actually worked for you. Because the best thing you did was blow up that relationship with Skip Bayless. It's working for you.
And guess what? But Shannon did it smart. He was doing his channel while he was fishing with Dynamite. He just threw a bigger stick of dynamite when he got ready to get out of there. And now he's controlling his narrative. This man talking about everything. So when you look at the Steven Jackson comment against him, I think that was out of bounds. That's just my opinion. I think that's out of bounds. But y'all got to understand, everybody's got to sell out. And what do I mean by that? When you get ready to go bigger than where you are, somebody bigger than you got to cut a deal with you. Okay? Somebody bigger than you got to cut a deal with you. Now, the question is, how many people are you going to wrong so you can get that bag? Because you're going to have to choose who you're going to do wrong. Now, here's the problem with most people. Most people are going to wrong somebody close to them. That's what most people are going to do. You got to sacrifice somebody close to you. But what people don't realize is the powers that be ain't asking you to sacrifice people. They're asking you to sacrifice a system. And this is what's happening. You're mad at people and you're exposing people, but your problem is the system that you subscribing to. A lot of people got the wrong mindset, and a lot of people have. Michael Irvin said something when you watch their 30 for 30 with the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s when they had the White House next to the practice facility. What did he tell Jerry Jones when they got caught with the prostitutes and the drugs and all that? What did he say? Man, I ain't gonna lie, bruh. I was just trying to do the wrong thing the right way. Right? And a lot of us are mad at people, but we're just doing the wrong thing. We got good at doing the wrong thing. And now you got to sacrifice those people who all of your relationships are based on. So if I got taught wrong, now I'm good at that information I got. And so what's happening right now, Steve Harvey said to Entertainer, man, look, I went to go see Kings of Comedy at Dean Smith Center, right? Next night, they were in Charlotte where it was taped. So I get it. These were the comedians we grew up on and that kind of thing. Katt Williams on Comic View. We seen it, right? All this stuff. But they made a choice, and I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. They're friend that relationship sacrifice, and when you look at their financial situation or the appearance of their financial situation, it worked for them. Now, Katt is having to do what he's doing so it can work for him. Now, we talked about Steven Jackson. We talked about Shannon Sharpe and Steven Jackson and Shannon Sharpe. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this before I want to switch away from the Katt Williams situation real fast. Have y'all seen Draymond Green is back?
Oh hell, I'm sorry.
Now, a lot of people don't realize one of the things that happened. Draymond Green said when this thing first happened, he thought about retiring. Well,
Yeah.
this thing was huge. He thought about retiring.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't realize why would Draymond say he retiring? Draymond said Draymond has got a taste of life without playing ball. He don't want to get up and do that grind anymore. And I don't know if y'all realize the moment he came back, the moment they announced he came back, the volume announced he got a new multi-year contract for his podcast, The Draymond Green Show. He ain't coming back to play basketball. He coming back because this platform like Shannon Sharpe has, Draymond Green has got more influence over here. And I guarantee you they told him, look, man, if you ain't playing basketball, your podcast don't mean nothing. You ain't Shannon Sharpe yet. Right? Shannon Sharpe, three championships. You still can play. And the next thing that happened at 2024 went crazy. Who saw it? Ja Morant out for the season. He tore his shoulder up.
Easy.
I did see that.
Out for the season. Came back. They were 6-3 since he came back. They were gonna make the playoff. The NBA was loving it. He was getting ratings, all that kind of stuff. He done tore his shoulder. Why is 2024 already going crazy? Because at the end of the day, guys, Real is saying I ain't gonna be taking a back seat no more. Real is saying, yeah, you know what? Here's what happens. You got to start recognizing that when you see stuff like this happen, it's an opportunity for you to say, which way am I going to go? And here's what I want everybody to know. Whichever way you choose ain't bad. If you choose to go to another level, just know that when you sacrifice those people, be ready for the story to come out. Go ahead, TLC.
I think Draymond Green's thing is that I honestly think he wants to play basketball, but I think he wants the ball his way. He knows as soon as he gets back on the court, he can't foul nobody, or they're gonna blow it up. They're gonna blow it out of proportion. You talking about keeping it real? He can't keep it real. He's got to go out there and be a whole different person.
But his highlight reel is not highlights. It's highlights of him hitting people. which absolutely, I mean, I love that because that's him.
Right.
Go join Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Like and I like Draymond and how he's played over the years and stuff like that. But there is that factor of him, like the hits just don't look good. But I also know he has a good following too, where I think he'll be successful with the podcast if he does retire or if he continues to play.
And that's what y'all got to see that's happening is that Draymond has gotten a taste of not having to play basketball. You play it long enough and you get pissed at it, right? What you start off loving, you eventually gonna hate. We talk about that with relationships. What you start off loving, you gonna hate. So if I'm looking at Draymond,
being on a podcast ain't great either. I can tell Draymond.
Nice. I like y'all see the haters until it get put on, right? Until it get put on. But yeah. This is one of the things I was telling. Like there's some things that happened in this first week, guys. That's just crazy. I'm just touching on them a little bit. How Tyreek Hill got $2.3 million worth of damage to his house because one of the kids in the house playing with a lighter and it set it on fire.
Oh, that's why his house caught on fire?
House caught on fire.
I knew it had caught on fire. I just didn't know why.
They realized that it was a 7-year-old in there playing with a lighter. See, if you were living in the project, you get told, boy, don't you touch nothing in here with fire, right? But when you're living in that nice house, see, guys, what's happening is there's no regard for the sacrifice that Tyreek Hill is putting on that field to be able to have you living in that house like that. This man was at practice, had to leave practice to come home. Why? The people in your circle don't realize the sacrifice you putting in for them. Why are you around there playing with a lighter? Right? Because guess what? Daddy got the money. Now you got $2.3 million. Either he got to pay or his insurance gonna pay it. But my guess is insurance gonna say, nah, yeah, no, Now, or your insurance gonna pay it and cancel you, right? So you're looking at the Tyreek Hill, and I want to say this other one because I want to get y'all thoughts on this too. Bill Belichick, it came out that he's willing to, in order to stay with the Patriots, he's willing to not be the GM, just be the head coach. TLC.
Man.
TLC.
So he's both right now?
Right.
So he's both right now?
He's both. Bill Belichick been running that organization since Tom Brady was there.
Oh, okay.
He been the GM, coach, he everything. The final word stopped with him.
Oh, okay.
And that just came out. It came out that he's willing to give up some of the reins.
I think Deion Sanders said it best. There's only two ways, a coach can go. That's up and out eventually. And he's already been up. He's got his championships. There's only so much more you could do. I think he just needs a fresh start. That might mean retirement for him, being an announcer for him, but I think, man, you've been there for a while at the Patriots. I think it's time to let it go.
And I like what you said, TLC. People got to understand sometimes your message is just run its course. Sometimes your message has just run its course. When you look up and see that your message has run its course, you don't change your message, you change the people you're talking to. You don't change your message, you just change the people you're talking to. There's plenty of, like you said, if Bill Belichick goes to the Chargers or if he goes to the Raiders, the rumors had it that the Bucs are looking at him, the Falcons, all that kind of stuff. Everybody would be willing to have Bill Belichick come in. Mm-hmm. But those are some of the things, guys. It's got 2024 going crazy. Yeah. But when you look at why is it going crazy, Rhonda said it at the beginning, man, which is the social media world. I see people tired of solely living off of the social media world. Now people want real. That's why, shout out Bubba Dub. This is why the moment the Cowboys win or lose, first thing people doing going to Bubba Dub channel to see what he gonna say.
Oh yeah, I love it.
You got to go to Bubba Dub channel to see what he gonna say about the Cowboys win or lose, right? If the Cowboys lose, you got to go to Stephen A's channel to see what he gonna say because
that is a good one. Mm-hmm.
So one of the things is just like, why did Deion Sanders hire his son? Why did he hire his son to do social media? Controlling the narrative that said. We never would have thought, TLC, we did that Deion Sanders podcast. I got an alert from Instagram. That's one of the most watched reels I done had. The Deion Sanders reel. And one of the things that happened, Nick Saban has lost 16 people to the transfer portal. How does Nick Saban lose 16 people to the transfer portal? And this is what makes 2024 crazy. You literally just went to the college football playoff and you leaving it. Why? Because nobody's valuing the college experience anymore. I got to get in this transfer portal to go get me some of that NIL money. Ain't nobody trying to say I'm waiting until I get to the NFL. No, I'm going to get paid now. And Nick Saban has sold people on being patient, waiting.
Yeah.
Being patient and waiting, you're going to get your turn.
I mean, you can't, it's kind of hard to be a coach and tell them to wait, and you over here with all this money. The kids are looking at you like, wait a minute.
You living in the mansion when you invite you can invite the whole team over to your house for a cookout and there's still room in there. Look,
so yeah, I don't blame the players, but
you show up at Nick Saban's house for a cookout and it's inside. You come to my house, it's gonna be a 10 in the back. Everybody's
that ain't no fun.
But I think that's what's happening, guys. This Katt Williams situation has really set the tone for 2024. This Katt Williams situation, because now it's going over the mainstream. I was on Fox News the other day, and Katt Williams was on FoxNews.com. This is crazy. When you see what he's done, he has allowed people to see that you can be rewarded for exposing. We say 2024 is a year of exposure, but in order for exposure to happen, somebody has to be willing to do the exposing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And there's somebody in your life right now ready to expose you. Now, what I'm going to tell you on this podcast, you better call them people and be nice to them. Because if you don't want a Katt Williams experience in your life, right? You don't want a Katt Williams experience in your life, you better know who can do the exposing. And remember, guys, everybody got a double life, triple life, quadruple life. And the problem is when you get put on, all four of your lives or all of your multiple lives don't get to come with you. Only one get to come with you. This is the whole point, TLC. This is the part they don't teach you. If you're faking in front and wearing different hats, only one gets promoted. The other ones, you can't bring them with you. You can't bring them with you. So you better decide right now. What's going to happen, because you don't want to find yourself in a Diddy and TD Jake situation. Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Sid the Entertainer, all successful guys. But look at how long it's going to take a while for them. The first thing I'm doing right now, if I'm Steve Harvey or if I'm Cedric the Entertainer, first thing I'm saying is, man, let's capitalize on this Katt. After you finish your tour, let's call Netflix up. Let's do a round table on the state of comedy. What comedy? Like, I would do something. TLC, you got to do something. TLC, I got it. If I'm Steve Harvey, if I'm the one that
I think they could put as much distance between themselves and Katt as possible. I think they have to.
TLC, you can't. Shannon Sharpe got 30 million views. Those people also were listening to your radio show. Those people were also going to watch the Family Feud. That man said there's 30,000 scripts, is what he said. How you can't get a movie role on your own? He said, why? They don't want a country bumpkin who look like Mr. Potato Head. And
but you know what? Here's the thing. Steve Harvey still has all his TV shows. I think Kevin Hart still has like a movie coming out on Netflix. You know, they still have so much in production.
You got to have people to watch, TLC. And the whole point, those shows came to you because they thought you were authentic. TLC, that's the whole perspective. Those shows came to you because they thought you were authentic. Now when you watching Family Feud, the only thing you're gonna see is this man who called Ocean's 11 and said don't put Bernie in it. Right? Like TLC, you gotta understand when people see you in a different lens. Everything changes with your viewing. Now, and I'm gonna tell you like this, y'all gotta remember Steve Harvey, and again, this ain't a Steve Harvey attack. Steve Harvey just got through the whole rumor of Marjorie leaving it.
Yeah.
And now this
just getting wild.
You say you got to wear multiple hats.
Bro, there you go.
Bro,
you don't want to wear those hats.
I ain't gonna lie. I saw media takeout today. They didn't call Kevin Hart wife out without her ring on. Right now, you start seeing this stuff, TLC. And it ain't got nothing to do with what Katt Williams said. It got everything to do with what Tasha K just revealed about Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart,
I didn't hear that.
Kevin Hart sent the lawyers on Tasha K, because remember, there's a personal assistant that's suing Kevin Hart. There's a personal assistant that's suing Kevin. Tasha K is another podcast, another blogger.
Okay.
Everybody gossip from Black people and that kind of thing. But she just released that. But this personal assistant that said Kevin Hart sexually harassed her and that kind of thing, Kevin Hart they dropped all the lawyer stuff on him, but didn't drop it on Katt Williams. Go ahead.
But who is going on tour? Which one of their wives or exes is going on tour with Katt?
Kevin Hart ex-wife is coming on tour with Katt.
I saw it on the Shade Room.
Now, this is look. Right, let me tell y'all, TLC, you cannot maintain it if they don't come and make amends with Kevin. If they don't come and make amends with Katt Williams is being asked to be booked on every major podcast right now. He can't go on mainstream media because he can't say this stuff. He's being asked to be on every major.
Katt, you welcome. Katt, you welcome to come here.
You welcome to smoke something, drink something. You know, people from Northeast North Carolina rock with you. The 252 rock with your Katt. but that's what I want y'all to see, right? So this thing is having a fallout, TLC, and don't ever think, bruh, that people gonna get to stay the same. Once somebody exposes you like that, you got to go through a process. We are literally just getting over Steve Harvey coming out of the whole situation where he and Marjorie Harvey were getting divorced because she was allegedly sleeping with the bodyguard in the show. Right? So now that's why 2024 is already going crazy. If you Steve Harvey, how many more scandals can you be in? He literally said the entertainer cannot write. He basically accused said
He ain't
entertainer
fun.
just being fed. You just being fed what to say. As much as we think said is funny, right? Now all of a sudden, see what we seeing is said.
But you go back to like rappers. How many rappers got ghostwriters? You know, I
I
mean,
agree. I just look, y'all gonna see it on my YouTube page. It's already on my Patreon page. Creativity comes from lack. Creativity don't come from abundance. So your favorite rapper now ain't writing his stuff. He got to pay somebody who's lacking to come up with a story. And I put that on my Patreon page. It's gonna be on the YouTube page tonight. But I wanted you guys to see it like it's this thing is crazy. That TLC, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think the recovery is gonna happen because everybody who was in your life based on this facade you had. Now the other side then got exposed. And now you thinking you with this person and you knew something was up, but now you got confirmation.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing worse than getting
He making it make sense. He making it make sense.
He made it. Look, everything you done lied to everybody in your life about, he told the truth.
Yeah.
He told the truth. And what you gonna start seeing? You gonna start seeing Family Feud ratings drop. You gonna start seeing Ricky Smiley Morning Show ratings drop. You gonna start seeing Steve Harvey Morning Show ratings drop. Let's be honest. Ricky Smiley started taking radio stations from Steve Harvey, and they both are mega sci-fi frat brothers. And Steve Harvey took it from Tom Joyner, who's also the mega sci-fi frat brother.
Well, who took it from Russ Parr?
Russ Parr, yeah.
Yeah. Who took Russ Parr out the game?
Man, they got Russ Parr out the game. So y'all see this stuff happening, man. Y'all see, it's only so many radio stations. I'm gonna get into the game after my frat brother is running the game. Right? Like, dude, you start doing this stuff, TLC, and the chickens are coming home to roost. I'm telling y'all right now, 2024 gonna keep going crazy. TLC, what's your final thought for the night, brother?
Man, 2024 has been interesting so far. We still in the first month, so I can't wait to see what else is coming up. I mean, this has been crazy. It's been a crazy year, and just like I say, things just blowing up. People fish with dynamite out there, but you just got to hold on, wait to see.
All right, Rhonda, what's your final thought for the night?
I think this has been great tonight. Number one, I really want to say that, and I want to just say I don't think people are gonna go above and beyond anymore. Ain't nobody going the extra mile no more, man. Bump all that, and the exposure is real. And for me, I'm gonna just leave it with Katt. Like, the truth don't need motivation.
The truth need motivation.
Yeah.
And look, that's a good one. Y'all, look, I'm gonna keep mine simple. The other night on Nightcap, Steve Harvey, not Steve Harvey, Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco were talking, and Ocho Cinco's wife or fiance popped in when Ocho Cinco was making a point. She said, "A lie don't care who tell it."
Yeah, somebody they got dates. He got it written down when they.
Yeah, he got dates, right? She came in and she said, "A lie don't care who tell it." I'm still in that right now because my final thought for tonight is a lie don't care who tell it, but the truth has to be without reproach. And the person who gonna expose you guys is gonna be a person who got so many details that the truth cannot be denied. Which means if you got somebody who could expose you, go ahead and call and make it right or pay them off. Do whatever you got to do. Because if this is a year of exposure, you better go and handle the person. Because again, your problem is a who. And this who you better go find and let them know to make it right. Because if you plan on doing big things for 2024, that's the only reason exposure gonna happen. If you plan on doing the same or you plan on regressing and you ain't got no plans or no purpose, don't worry about it. Exposure only happens to people who are trying to go to the next level. And I'm gonna tell you, you better clean up what you done messed up. That's the old gospel song. I better clean up what I done messed up. Starting my life over again.
Shout out to Bob.
Not gospel Travis. Man, y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Instagram at the Real Cigar Jeff. You can find me on Facebook at Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Of course, you're on YouTube right now. Mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notification. Get down in the comments, man. Let us know what you think. Share this video, forward this video to a family member or a friend. Let them know, man, that we over here having these real topics, man. Help y'all get through 2024 because you don't want to be the one that gets exposed, man. Don't forget, man, get the merch. Y'all see it right here, man. My water glass. Y'all can see it right here. We get the merch right now for 2024. And, man, TLC, let them know where they can find you on the socials again.
I'm on Instagram at tlclay1. I'm also on Patreon, The Joke I Didn't Tell.
Man, appreciate you, Rhonda. Let them know where they can find you on Instagram.
On IG at RMB LMBT.
Man, and you know what it is. And until next time, we gon' holler. Yeah. It's your boy JB. Live and direct to you. You know what it is. Like and subscribe to.